Hello, everybody. This is your coach, Sarah, here, and I wanted to take a little bit of time to explain the tools that I've given you to be successful in this program. The last time I did this, people were a little bit confused about things, so I just wanted to go over some stuff with you guys and make sure you understand how to use everything so that you can be successful. Okay, so this is my first time recording my screen, so hopefully I make things clear for you guys so that you can find them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go into our Facebook group. So this is our Facebook group for the 21-day Fall Health Challenge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Files section right here, okay? So you guys all have access to this group, so you can all find this. So I'm going to click on the Files section, and I am going to open up the 21-day Fix Tracker 2. So when I click on this, you'll see, this is a post attached to it, you'll see there's a couple of options here. So what I want you all to do is actually click the download button and print off everything in this file. It's only 5 or 6 pages long. It's not a whole lot of paper, but I want you to go ahead and do that now. Feel free to pause the video, print it off so you can follow along with the video, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click preview, and it's gonna open up the tracker. So as you can see, this is the 21-day Fix food tracker. Now this is a document that I actually created for myself the first time I did this program because I didn't like writing in the little book that came with the program. And I also really like to write down what I actually eat every day and not just kind of make checks of the boxes. So what I'm going to start off by doing, I'm actually going to scroll down here to page number 5. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through how to calculate your containers for the program. All right, so this is definitely a part where everybody get a little bit confused. So basically what I did is I condensed down a lot of the information in that manual that came with the program into this little document here. So where you get started, if you wanted to follow the official program, you'll see right here, this line says 21-day Fix official math. If you follow this and just do these simple little calculations here, you will get your target calorie range according to the 21-day Fix program. Now, I am not that big a fan of the way that they calculate the calorie ranges for this program, and that's because it doesn't take into account things like your age, your height, your current weight, your actual activity levels, things like that. So I like to get a little bit more specific with it, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do right now. So the first thing I want you to do is you'll see this, and after you guys open up and download yours, you can also preview it so that you can have access to this. This little line right here, calorie calculator, this is actually a clickable link. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on this and open up this page. So what this is right here is a calorie calculator that takes into account all of the factors that need to be accounted for. So I'm gonna walk you through this using my calculations, okay? So we're gonna start in this little box here. I'm gonna change it because I'm a female. I'm currently 28 years old. I weigh 137 pounds, and I am 5'5", which is 65 inches. If you need to calculate that, just multiply how many feet tall you are by 12, and then add the extra inches, okay? So the next section is this middle section. Now what this is right here is you are going to put in how many hours a day you spend doing these different activity levels. Now, this is what I really like about this is that it takes into account all of the different types of activities that you do every day. So in order to figure out and understand how to fill these out, you have to scroll down a little bit and you'll see they have descriptions of the different categories. So you can read those descriptions and figure out how many hours a day you actually spend doing those activities. So I'm going to start with the resting section here. Resting they have listed as sleeping or reclining. Now, I wish that I got a solid 8 hours of sleep every night, but I'll be really honest about the fact that that's not the case most of the time. But I am going to go ahead and put 8 hours in here for resting because I'm usually at least laying in bed for 8 hours if I'm not sleeping. Ideally, this number should be higher, but that's the way it is. So then I'm actually going to go down all the way to the bottom and start with heavy and work my way back up. And the reason for that is because as you'll see in yourself, probably the majority of your time is actually going to be spent in the light and very light category. So it's easier to start where you have less time so that you can just kind of calculate out how many hours are left at the end of the day. Excuse me. So I'm going to move down to the heavy category and read that. I'm going to take a drink really quick too. Hold on. Okay, so as you read the heavy category, you can see it says walking uphill with a load, tree felling, heavy manual digging, basketball, climbing, football, and soccer. Now, I don't actually do any of these categories. Sometimes I do climbing, but I'm definitely not doing it often enough for me to really keep it as, I wouldn't consider it an average day that I go climbing, so I'm not going to calculate that in here. I do, however, at least 3 days a week, exercise to the point of exhaustion. So I do high intensity interval training about 3 days a week, but only for 15 minutes at a time. And I'm gonna, that's kind of like football and soccer where you're doing really high intense activities for 30 seconds and then resting and then doing it again. So I do that at least 3 days a week. So I am actually going to go ahead and give myself a quarter of an hour, like I said, 15 minutes in the heavy category. So I'm going to go ahead and put in 0.25, which is a quarter of an hour, so it's 15 minutes, okay? So then I'm going to go to the moderate category here. So moderate is walking 3.5 to 4 miles an hour, weeding and hoeing, carrying a load, cycling, skiing, tennis, dancing, weight training, including rest between sets. Now, I definitely get about an hour of this category every day, and the reason for that is one, on the days that I don't do high intensity interval training, I always ride my bike to work. And, well, I guess I should say when the weather's nice. I ride my bike to work. So that's about an hour because it's about 25 minutes there and about 35 minutes home. Slightly uphill on the way home. And on the days that I'm not cycling, I'm definitely doing like high intensity interval training or some kind of a weight training. And I also walk my dog every morning for at least, 20 minutes to half an hour. And if I'm in a hurry because I'm running late, I'm walking pretty quick. So I'm going to give myself an hour in the moderate category. Okay. So the next category we've got is light. So this is walking on a level surface, garage work, carpentry, electrical trades, restaurant trades, So at work, at the store, I am not moving around as much as a waitress would be, but I am standing and I am walking around. So I tend to stand and work at my computer most of the day because I don't like sitting, and the rest of the day is standing and walking around at the store. So, I definitely, will give myself, I'm going to give myself maybe, let's see here. If I'm standing most of the day, but I'm still really not walking a whole lot, because you see seated and standing activities is in the very light category. So if I'm just standing at my computer, that doesn't count as light. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and give myself maybe 3.5 hours in the light category. Now, what I'm going to do is use my calculator to figure out how many hours are left that I spend in the very light category. Now, this is where most of my day is spent. Driving, standing at work, cooking. I don't do a whole lot of sewing, typing, that kind of stuff. So to do that, there's 24 hours in the day. I'm going to pull my little calculator over here. And I'm just going to go and do 24. Then I'm going to subtract all these other numbers here. So minus 8, minus 3.5, minus 1, minus 0.25. And I've got 11.25 hours at the very light category. Okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is go over here and hit the calculate button. All right. So what these numbers here are showing, the BMR is your basal metabolic rate. What this is is the base amount of calories your body needs to simply function, to do all of the stuff that your body is doing that you're not thinking about doing. I need to be eating 1,400 calories a day. So this is a really big part of why I like using this calculator better than the one that comes with the program, because the program, the first time I did my calculations, it had me in the 1,200 to 14 or to 1,500 calorie range, and I should never ever be eating less than 1,400 calories. You should never be eating less than your basal metabolic rate requires you to eat. If you do, you're going to go into starvation mode. You will absolutely not be losing any weight. In fact, you will probably be putting on weight even though you're eating less calories than you've probably ever eaten before. It puts a lot of stress on your system. It is not good for you. Do not eat less than this number, okay? So then what this calculator is telling me is how many calories I burn with all the activities that I do every day. And it's giving me an extra 968 calories in a day. And that's quite a lot of calories. My total calories, if I wanted to just maintain where I am, is 2,387 calories in a day. Now that's a lot of calories, especially once we click back over to the tally sheets here, you'll see that's a lot of food. It really is. And I've never really eaten this. And maybe there have been a few times when I put a lot of stuff into a smoothie, but it would be amazing to me if I could actually eat this. So, but the other thing about that is this is how many calories I need to eat if I'm going to maintain what I'm already doing. What the goal for many of you for this program is to actually, you want to lose weight. So what we're going to do to figure out how many calories you want to eat in order to lose a little bit of weight is we're going to click back over here. And I want to talk a little bit about like the calorie deficit to lose weight equation thing. There's a lot of factors that come into play when it comes to losing weight. And more importantly, when it comes to losing fat, I should say, because I've been doing this program for a significant amount of time and I've only lost 3 pounds in the last 6 months. However, my pant sizes have dropped, my clothes fit better, I am more toned. People comment that that like my face seems thinner, and I really haven't lost any weight, but what I've lost is fat. I've lost fat and gained muscle, which means I look leaner. So do not get attached to the number on the scale, okay? The scale number is lying to you. So when it comes to losing fat, you do need to be in a slight calorie deficit, but as I already said, you do not want to be eating so few calories that your body is going into starvation mode and not doing anything. The other thing that's really important is you can't be eating, 1,600 calories worth of carbohydrates every day and expecting your body to function. Your body needs nutrients from all types of foods, from fruits and vegetables and proteins and carbs and fats. Your body needs all of them in balance. And that's the whole point of this program, is to teach you how to eat those things in balance to fuel your body in a way that it actually wants to be fueled, okay? So if you remember over here, my total calories for the day are 22,387. So we're going to click back over here. According to the 21-day fix math, they have you subtracting 750 calories in order to try and lose weight. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm actually just going to do 2,300 just to make my life a little easier. And as you'll see, 2,300 calories, according to the tracker, if I were to just eat my maintenance amount of calories, I'd be eating 7 servings of vegetables, 5 of fruit, 6 of protein, 5 of carbs. Like, I could not eat this much food. I don't know how anybody does this. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and subtract 750 calories. So my target calories to lose weight is 1,550. So if you go over here to your tally sheets, that puts me in this calorie range right here. So after having done this program a couple of times, I'm a little bit more in maintenance mode versus some of you guys. You guys are going to be in, trying to get things accomplished mode. So when I eat, I tend to fluctuate somewhere between these two categories. I sort of aim for this category to a certain degree, but if I go over, because maybe I exercised more, or let's say I went out for a drink with my friends, which counts as a yellow container, but I'd already eaten all my yellow containers that day, I'm not going to worry about it because I kind of have a little bit of wiggle room that I give myself between these two categories, okay? So I'm also going to talk a little bit now for a second about why there are two different spreadsheets here. So this is the containers according to the 21-day fix program. Now, knowing myself and having done this for a while, I ended up creating a low carb version for myself. And the reason I did this is because I know that my body tends to favor a little bit more fats and a little bit less carbs than this program gives you. Now, one of the things that I learned when I first did this program was that I actually wasn't eating enough carbohydrates and was eating too much fat. And even though my calories were probably about the same, when I started adding in more carbs, I started to feel better and I lost weight. So I'm not super low carb by any means, but I'm lower carb than this. So if you feel like that's something you want to experiment with, go ahead and use this little chart right here that I created. So this is actually the target calorie range that I tend to use. So most days, this is what I'm doing. I still keep track every single day. I'm still making sure that I am hitting my targets, because if I don't end up eating enough vegetables. Sometimes I don't eat enough carbs. I would probably be overindulging in my fats because I really like my nuts and my coconut milk. So I keep track because I want to make sure that I am just fueling my body in a way that it likes to be fueled. So what do you do from here? The next step is I'm going to remember what these numbers are. And one thing, if you do decide to use this one, there's a typo in here. This number here is supposed to be a 2, not a 3. Basically what I did is I subtracted one fruit container and one carb container and added in an extra fat and seed container for this. So this is only supposed to be a 2 blues and 2 oranges, okay? So just a small note. Okay, so I know what these numbers are. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to go up here to my tally sheet and I'm going to fill these numbers in. So up here on the top, my target for the day, you can put the calories if you want. I need to eat 4 vegetables, 2 fruits, 4 proteins, 2 carbs, 2 fats, 2 seeds, and 5 teaspoons. Okay, so I'm going to put those up there just as a reminder for myself. Now, if you're using the 21-day fix app, you can add containers to each day. You can't subtract containers. So the app does math for you, which is nice, except when you're in my situation and you want to play with things a little bit more to be a little bit more personalized. So just know that. If you want to talk about that with me, just let me know. Okay, so what I'm going to do, now I know how many of each container I need to eat in a day. So it's day 1. What you're going to do on day 1, put in the day, you can write in the date if you want, and you are going to start writing in what you actually ate during that day. So for breakfast today, I had Shakeology, which is a red container. I had some frozen strawberries, which is a fruit container, so I write that in here. I added some flax seeds to my smoothie, so I had some flax seeds, which is my orange container. And I had some coconut milk and a couple of Brazil nuts, which is a blue container. I put coconut milk in my coffee, and I eat 3 Brazil nuts every day because they're really high in selenium, or naturally occurring source of selenium, which is really important for a bunch of different things in your body, including detoxification, by the way, and anti-cancer. And then I also take fish oil every day, and fish oil is a fat, people. So just because it's a good for you supplement that you should be taking every day, especially in this situation, you need to make sure that you're keeping track of that. So between the coconut milk, the fish oil, and the Brazil nuts, that's 1 blue container for breakfast, okay? So then for lunch today, I had a salad, and I tend to use 2 green containers for salad. So I'm going to write down lettuce, mixed vegetables. See that? 1 container, 2 containers. And then I probably had some grilled chicken on top of it. So I write down grilled chicken under my red container. And then I had some salad dressing, which is my second orange container for the day. So I'm going to write down salad dressing, okay? And then for my snack today, I had some oatmeal. So I'm going to write down oatmeal, up here under my first carb container. And I haven't eaten dinner yet, but what I'll do for dinner is write in what I had for dinner, including the teaspoons that I used to, measure my olive oil for cooking. So by the end of the day, what I should see is 4 different vegetables, 2 different fruits, 4 different proteins, 2 different carbs, 2 fats, 2 seeds, and 5 teaspoons. And that's what it looks like. Then you can tally them up at the end of the day, and the numbers that are down here should match the numbers that are up here. And by writing down exactly what you ate during the day, instead of just checking off the containers, you're keeping yourself even more accountable. It's kind of easy to fudge it when you just have to check a little box, you know? But if you're actually writing down what you ate, you're going to look at that and say, oh, that's what I ate. And maybe you'll learn which foods make you feel better, which foods give you more energy because you wrote it down. So the other few things that are on here is you have some spots to write down some other supplements if you take them, and also write down your workout, okay? So here's something that I'm going to tell you. If you don't write it down, it doesn't count. This is something that doctors and nurses know when they're charting for patients in hospitals. If they didn't write something down on a patient's chart, it didn't happen. It doesn't count. If you don't write it down, I'm not going to believe that you actually ate this way. So write it down. Take a picture at the end of 4 days. You got 4 days in here. Take a picture of your sheet and post it in the Facebook group at the end of 4 days. I want to see what you're eating. I want to see that you're writing everything down and you're keeping track and you're actually following the plan. If you're not actually using your container to measure your vegetables and put them in a bowl, and using your container to measure your salad dressing before you put it on that salad, then you're not actually following the program and you're not going to get as good of results, okay? So that, my friends, is how you use the 21-day fix trackers that I created for you. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I hope this clarified some things for you. All right, I'll talk to you soon.